answers. I mean, that just goes to show it doesn't matter how good your quarterback is. You know, if you've got the right scheme and you got a good D, you know.
If you got the right quarterback, you got everything together, and we are live right here, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're listening to our talking, we're just talking about the Super Bowl yesterday, where our friends over at KC got blown out by my friend Mr. Tom Brady there. You know, gentlemen, how you all doing today?
Good. Dude, Monday after Super Bowl. It should be a national holiday, you know.
Yeah, Monday after Super Bowl. Adam, I'm quite sure you were watching my stories, wondering where in the world I am, right?
What was going on there, by the way?
I'm right here, man. I am right here. Got to do that sometimes. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Cruising with a Case Handler. It's a show on personal injury and immigration law. I've got top attorneys from New York right here on the show now, Cruising with a Case Handler. It's brought to you by the law firm, Pollack, Isaac, and Isico, ladies and gentlemen. And we're here to answer your immigration questions. We're here to answer questions on personal injury and speak on true success stories of people who have actually used the case handler himself, Adam Handler, referred to also as the beast, the shark, the hot stepper, and of course, a guy that is always on point when it comes to helping out people who have been in accidents. With that said, let's get the 30-second bit out of the way. Who did you root for in the Super Bowl, Nelson?
You know, I wanted Kansas City to win. I mean, I really thought they would win, but I was wrong.
Adam, who did you root for?
You know what? I was secretly rooting for Tom Brady, but I had some money on Kansas City. I wasn't planning on doing that. And then my college buddy calls me in the morning. He's like, yeah, we should do something. And I should have went with the guys that slept in their own bed the night before. You know, there's something to say about waking up in your own bed, right? Using your own shower, using your own bathroom, then going and playing the Super Bowl. You know, that never happened before. Plus, you know, Tom Brady is only a couple months older than me. And as Conrad says, that I am the Tom Brady of the personal injury world. So, you know, Conrad labeled me that, you know, a few weeks ago. So I had to live up to that. Right, Conrad? You'd say there's so many distinct, so many similarities between not just height, but between your boy and Tom Brady. So thank you for that, Conrad.
Okay, I'll accept the thanks, but I don't remember saying that, especially the height part.
What about you, Conrad? Who are you rooting for?
Look, I am a longtime San Francisco 49er fan, and in my mind, I don't care what Brady does, Montana is the best of all time. He is the GOAT. He is the true GOAT. He's 4-0 in Super Bowls, never lost a game. He was Mr. Clutch, and I don't care what Brady does or whoever does what after him. To me, Joe Montana is the greatest of all time, and I am a lifelong 49er fan, and the 49ers, but for their injury, should have been there. So I was rooting against Tom Brady, and I was rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs, although it didn't matter. I don't like either one of them, to be honest. But unfortunately, I was just hoping for a good game, and unfortunately, it wasn't really a very competitive game. And as we were saying before we got on the air, you know, good D always stops a good offense. It doesn't matter how good your quarterback is. If the defense is prepared, and especially in football, if the coaching is right, and for Tampa Bay, their coaching was right on. They were spot on. They were ready, and they surprised the heck out of Kansas City. And Kansas City had no answers. They didn't adjust. And as good as Mahomes is, and he's good, he's real good. They shut him down. So you know, Tampa Bay deserved to win that game, and it wasn't close, unfortunately.
I didn't even think the commercials were that good.
Yeah, the commercials weren't very good either. I agree.
Although your boy Shaggy, he was a star.
The commercials were disappointing.
To be honest, I thought Shaggy's commercial was the best.
I like the Bruce Springsteen commercial. That was a nice commercial.
And one final thing I'll add that I don't know if people picked up on. I actually just posted this to my Facebook. Is that the flyover? You know, the bombers.
Yeah.
It was the B1, the B2, and the B52, which equals 55, Super Bowl 55. So pretty cool.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Wow, Adam. Wow.
There you go.
The other commercial was funny was what's the guy from Saturday Night Live? He caught the arrow in his teeth.
Will Ferrell. Yeah.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
I mean, the commercial itself wasn't great. I don't even know what the commercial was for. I don't remember, but it was pretty funny.
It was for GM electric vehicles. So
catching the arrows and all that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Speaking of vehicles, people are probably in their vehicles right now saying,
exactly,
what are we listening to right now?
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say.
What the heck is going on right now? So
Adam.
I will make it official. 93.5 FM listeners. Good morning. We love you. Thanks so much for tuning in every day, 9:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. I shouldn't say every day. Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. to our legal show. We call it Cruising with the Case Handler. My name is Adam Handler. I am your case handler. I'm a personal injury attorney and a partner of Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Today with us, we have Conrad, the Maestro Pollack, and Nelson, the Maverick Madrid, the OGs of this show. You know, we've been doing it for nearly 1 year in this particular format, which is incredible to think about. That, you know, we started everything during the midst of the pandemic, and we really have been providing a wonderful resource for individuals out there that want to get their questions answered, that may not know if they have a case with respect to immigration, personal injury, criminal defense, no matter what it is. Because the good news is that we are a full service law firm. We handle all aspects of law. Now we each have our own particular group, practice group, and field that I don't want to say specialize in, but we focus on. So if you got a legal question, we got a legal answer. You got a legal problem, we got that legal solution. Take down this number if you can right now, if you're able to. Our phone number is 844-774-3529, 844-774-3529, or easy to remember, 844 PPID law. PPID is the initials of our firm, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, and it's a good way to be connected to us. And while you're at it, go one step further. I would sincerely appreciate if you can check us out on our social media platforms. My Instagram and Facebook is The Case Handler, so check out The Case Handler on Facebook and Instagram. Check out PPID on Facebook and Instagram. You'll be connected to our practice. You'll see with your very own eyes the incredible work we do, the exceptional work we do. We certainly treat you like family, not just like a file, which sets us apart from most other law firms out there. And we are excellent attorneys. And I'd like to say, actually, really good guys. And with that being said, Squeeze, I'll toss it back to you with this question, because I'm down with PPID. Conrad and Nelson are down with PPID. You ready for this? I'm going to throw it for you. Ready?
All right.
The end zone pass. You ready?
Yep.
Are you down with PPID?
Got it. I'm down with PPID, man. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's just turn it up right now. Everybody out there that would like to get their immigration question answered, if you'd like it answered directly by an attorney, privately and confidentially, I implore you, one of my favorite words on the show, to call this number right now, because many of you out there, you need to get your green card. Many of you out there, you want to get that work permit. You want to get that blue book, AKA the US passport. Why don't you stop what you're doing for a few seconds and dial the number of a proficient, competent, experienced law firm that has been around for 60 solid years. Every one of you. Don't work on your case yourself. We have seen what has happened, the nightmares. Here's the number to call right now if you'd like to speak one-on-one privately with an attorney. It's 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPIDLAW. That's 844-774-3529. How many of you have known of people who have gotten into automobile accidents, slip and fall, medical malpractice, even construction accident? My brothers, my sisters, they work on the construction site. And guess what? They got hurt. And then you heard they only got like $500, $1,000 here, $5,000 here. Maybe that was enough, or maybe it wasn't, because they did not have the right attorney. They did not have the case handler. So what are you all waiting on? Store the number of an exceptional attorney. And that number for Adam Handler happens to be the same as for the immigration attorneys. 844-774-3529. Different department though. 844-774-3529. Thanks so much for the introduction, Adam Handler. Let's jump right into it, gentlemen. I'm not even going to get to updates yet. Wonderful show last Friday. We'll do it again sometime soon. Let's jump to this one. I'm a green card holder and I'll be filing for my citizenship next year. I have two grandsons I would like to adopt them. They are in the Bahamas. I would like to know what to do or how I can go about adopting them. They are 12 and 14 years old. I live in Georgia. Conrad, you're up. Batter up. Batter up.
He's going to have to adopt the children where the children are living. It's not a U.S. situation. If you can get the kids into the U.S., you can adopt them here. But he's going to have to go through the adoption procedures where the children are located in the Bahamas. If he adopts them before they turn 16, he has to complete the adoption before they turn 16. And he then has to have shared residence and custody of the children for 2 years. The residence can be before the 16th or after the 16th birthday. The custody also can be before or after, but they have to meet those requirements, complete the adoption before the kids turn 16. He can then apply for them to get their green cards. But the adoption has to be done. It has to be done down there. Can't do it in the U.S. unless the kids come to the U.S.
There you go. That's the managing partner, folks, Conrad Pollack of the firm, PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and Lasico. He just answered that question. The number is 844-774-3529. Once again, it doesn't hurt to get a consultation. Then hire them. 844-PPID-LAW. Here's one for you, Mr. Madrid. Can a child age out because of the ban that was imposed on resident filing for a spouse and a child?
Well, there's what's called the Child Status Protection Act that may actually protect the child. But, we would have to know when that petition was filed and how long it was pending, and that would determine whether or not the child is actually protected under the act.
Okay. Yeah, the CSPA might help them, but the fact is, if the dates are wrong, the ban is it doesn't matter. They're not going to be able to claim, well, my child would have been eligible, but for the ban, that argument's not going to work. So depending on how old the kids are, when the case was filed, like Nelson said, how long it was pending before it was approved, we need to know all that information. But if the dates are bad, if they're not in the kid's favor, the ban is the ban. They're not going to benefit. They're not going to qualify.
Okay. Well said, attorneys Nelson Madrid and Conrad Pollack on immigration. And ladies and gentlemen, the number to call now happens to be 844-774-3529. Do become a part of the newsletter, which happens multiple times per month at PPID. All you need to do is email news@ppid.com. That's news@ppid.com, or click on the link on Facebook, opt in, and make sure you get updates on immigration. Speaking about updates, gentlemen, Nelson, Conrad, any updates you want to get on? I don't know if, Nelson, you want to speak on public charge. Conrad, I don't know if you want to touch on DACA, where it's at, and anything where Biden's executive orders are concerned, seeing that we spoke a lot about that last Friday on the PPID Virtual Law Forum.
So I'll talk about public charge very quickly. The public charge rule is presently in litigation. There's been a lot of back and forth on whether or not it's required. Presently, you do need to complete the I-944 or Declaration of Self-Sufficiency. That needs to be filed with any application for adjustment of status. But again, it's in litigation. I believe the Biden administration is trying to do away with it, but at the moment it is still mandatory.
Gotcha. All right.
And about all the other executive orders, and there are a lot. It's pretty much weekly occurrence right now. All kinds of good news coming out. Biden had issued a 100-day moratorium on removals, deportations from the U.S. And a judge in Texas enjoined that order, basically saying, no, the president has to enforce the law, therefore deportations have to continue. There's another lawsuit that was just filed in Arizona, same thing, no decision on that yet. But the fact is, although there is no official end of deportations as the executive order had wanted or had stated, fact is, Biden runs the administrative branch. He's the chief executive. The executive branch determines who gets deported, who gets moved, and who doesn't. It's not like it was before under Trump. The previous administration, everybody was a target. If you're here illegally, you're getting deported if we catch you, period. Didn't matter what your equities were. Didn't matter, what kind of crime, if any crime that you committed. You could have been a dishwasher walking out of your restaurant and ICE was there waiting for you. You could be deported. That's no longer going to be the case. Biden administration is going to go back to what the Biden administration is going to go back to what the Obama administration was doing in terms of prioritizing people for removal. The bad guys get removed. All right, the hardened criminals, the rapists, the bad guys that don't deserve, that shouldn't be here, that do need to be moved from the United States. Those are the guys that are going to be priorities. If you're a dishwasher, if you're a nanny taking care of someone's kids, you know, and you happen to be here illegally and you have a clean record and maybe you have a case going for you, you're just waiting, you know, you're not at risk like you were before. You know, it's just a different day in terms of immigration. So you don't have to fear, you know, going to work on a Monday, whether you're going to make it home Monday night and ever see your family again, unless they come to visit you in Ecuador or something. That's not the case anymore. So even though the moratorium has been stopped in court, the fact is, Biden runs the administration, and they're giving directives as to who gets removed and who doesn't. So although removals are continuing, ICE is still active and removals are continuing. They've certainly been slowed down, and I believe that the Biden administration's intention is to reduce the level reduce the level of anxiety, reduce the level of fear in immigrant communities that the previous administration, you know, reveled in. That's over. Also, you asked me about DACA.
Yeah.
DACA is back. You know, I mean, it's back to the way it was intended when Obama created it back in 2012. There's a lot of impetus to make those kids, 700, 800,000 kids that applied for DACA and received DACA benefits, there's an impetus to make them permanent residents, eventually citizens, and that means fast track. Hasn't happened yet. There's a comprehensive immigration bill out there, but it's going to take time to get through Congress. Whether it becomes law or not, who knows? But if it does, it'll be happy days for immigrants that have been waiting for their green cards for a long time. But that's going to be a political football. It's going to be a lot of back and forth. That will apply to people basically that have been here since January 1st, you know, which that's pretty aggressive. Whether or not it stays that way, we'll see. There are all kinds of ideas out there. Plus, you know, there's a potential crisis at the border brewing as we speak. You know, the word gets out quick outside the United States, people wanting to come to the United States. You know, Biden clearly has changed the sentiment in the U.S. In terms of government policy, and we are now again a welcoming, you know, a country following the international rules regarding asylum and refugees and so on. You know, but the Trump administration admitted, I don't know, under 15,000 refugees in 2020, which is like the lowest in our history. Biden administration has already proposed, you know, quadrupling that, I think up to 65,000. The average administration, Nelson, correct me if I'm wrong, usually around 100,000 a year, you know, in terms of refugee resettlement. But the Biden administration has basically put the welcome mat back out at the United States front door. But, you know, word filters out to other countries, people trying to come to the United States, hoping to come to the United States, seeking a better life. They start thinking, oh, well, you know, open borders. And of course, you know, Fox News and those, that's immediately what they're saying. Oh, it's all open borders. The wall's coming down. Anyone that wants to come here can come here. You know, that's not the case. But nonetheless, there seems to be a migrant, I wouldn't say a caravan, I don't like to use that word, but there seems to be a crisis that's developing at the border, and hopefully the Biden administration can nip it in the bud before it happens, because it's not just show up at the border and you're in. It doesn't work that way. But unfortunately, some people down there are thinking that. It's not going to be the case, but we shall see. Hopefully it doesn't happen, because that will not work in the administration's favor politically. So
right.
Hopefully it doesn't
go over
happen.
very well. Right.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. I do believe in protocols and paths, you know, for people to be here in the United States, you know, and I'm very happy that our new president is actually, you know, doing wonders, which I'm very impressed so far, and hopefully everyone works with him to hold it as such. Once again, folks, if you're just joining us, my name is David Annakie, CEO of the Link Up Media Group of Companies. Been on this station, 93.5 FM, since 1996, September 1996. I'm here with a very good friend of mine and a team that has definitely proven themselves. A friend happens to be Adam Handler, the case handler. I'm going to ask him to share a true success story of someone that he has helped who was in an accident. I'm very thankful of Nelson Madrid and Conrad Pollack for helping so many people where their immigrant lives are concerned. And ladies and gentlemen, you should reach out to them. Book a consultation. As a matter of fact, I'll put Nelson on the spot. If you want to speak with him today, call right now at 844-774-3529. You'll be able to speak with him today. Get a consultation with him. Schedule one with him. Say, hey, Nelson, Squeeze said to call you up, man. I got a question for you, all right? So reach out to him. Ladies and gentlemen, he's excellent at what it is that he does. They're all practicing attorneys, even a managing partner, which is very rare, you know, so make sure you reach out to them. 844-PPID-LAW. Now, the man who is all into accidents, not literally, but helping people who get into them, is Adam Handler. How you doing, Mr.
I'm good,
Handler?
man. I'm good. Just listening to my impressive partners here do their thing with respect to immigration, but you should know that we are just as knowledgeable and just as effective when it comes to the personal injury side. You know, my job is very, very simple in a way. It's to get you money. When you're hurt in an accident, regardless of your immigration status, regardless of whether it's a car accident, a construction accident.
Hold up, Adam. Let me cut you off, man. You're saying your job is very simple, and that's just to get the money. Is it that simple?
Well, in the simplest terms, that's the goal, right?
Adam Handler, they just get the money just like that?
No, they don't get the money just like that, but that's the goal, you know, like in the Super Bowl last night, very simply, the goal is to win the game, right? Or to outscore your opponent. And, you know, my realm of law is the civil justice system, and the civil justice system here in the United States provides for one and one only type of recovery, and that's monetary compensation. So the medical bills, time out of work, pain and suffering, those are all things that we go for, obviously the maximum amount, and we've been extremely successful. Obviously we can't guarantee a successful future outcome, but our reputation really does stand on its own. I personally have obtained over $130 million from my clients over my nearly 17-year career, most of that time representing immigrants or family of immigrants. So we do some work here that I'm very, very proud of. And I always like to go back to our website because it really does show exactly how we do it. I had asked you earlier, maybe you weren't tuning in, but I'll ask again. If you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram, we would be extremely appreciative. Check out The Case Handler on Instagram, The Case Handler on Facebook. Don't check out Adam Handler, right? Because if I don't know you, I'm not accepting your friend requests so you can see pictures of my daughter's dance recital. Go to my professional page, The Case Handler, and you'll really see the difference that we have here at this firm. Exceptional legal work. And, you know, just very briefly, I can, you know, navigate you through our website, which I'm very, very proud of. Because in ways, it's like our report card, you know, it's like our resume. And if you notice, the first thing when you come to our website, you know, we don't talk about the millions and millions and millions of dollars that we recovered from our clients. For our clients, we have a very simple slogan right there, Squeeze. And if you can read that slogan out loud, I would be appreciative.
We treat our clients like family. All right. We treat our clients like family. And he lives up to that statement, ladies and gentlemen. The case handler, Adam Handler at PPID. All right. And when you check out a page, you will see all these pictures of people that he has helped. They're holding up checks of their settlement. Some of them don't even have the settlement amount because they don't want to share that amount on it. So make sure you go to the case handler. Once again, you get hurt in an accident. It's happening out there right now, you know, with the snow and everything that's happening. You know, please be careful. Yes. But when you get hurt, make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you seek medical emergency and then you call the case handler at Pollack, Isaac, and the Seco. No one else. And I will say it, and I might get beat up, but I don't care. Not the guys at the top of the hour, unless it's Adam Handler. You want to call the case handler. $130 million cannot be wrong. And also, he's with a firm that is serving the immigrant community. And that's what he does. 844-774-3529. Look at all these verdicts on the page, thecasehandler.com. Make sure you go check it out, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to follow this guy and see what it is that he has done for the community. 844-PPID-LAW. Yes, Adam. I
love this one. And we'll use it not only to commemorate Bob's birthday on Saturday, but this is Latoya. This was a great client. This was actually a selfie. I had to take this one myself. You know, I do everything. I have to work on the case, settle the case. I actually have to take my own my own testimonial Tuesday picture. I mean, talk about a jack of all trades. Well, I shouldn't say that because Nelson always jokes, jack of all trades, master of none. But we do some incredible work here, and you can see those smiling faces. Everybody's feeling good that day. This is from 2019. Squeeze, if you could read that quote for me, I would be appreciative.
Absolutely. Once again, you're in tune to Cruising with a Case Handler, show on personal injury and immigration law. It says here, okay, other than the big check, okay, made to Latoya, it says here, Adam's team did a great job on my case. He stayed on top of everything and was patient throughout the process. If I called, their team would always get back to me quickly. He will work hard for you and do what is best for your case. This is someone who got hurt in an accident, ladies and gentlemen. This is someone who got over $74,000, thanks, $74,000, $74,750 in settlement. Adam, what happened here?
She was a passenger in a vehicle that was driving in the Bronx. Another vehicle ran the stop sign. I mean, we say this all the time. You never expect an accident's going to happen, right? You can never anticipate it happening. The only thing you can do is be prepared. And Latoya, like all the others before her, have been prepared. And they've been prepared by having our number, or at least knowing we exist. You know, like you don't necessarily need to have our number in your phone, which we certainly encourage that you do. But as long as you know that PPID is out there, as long as you know the case handler is out there, you know, you Google us, you'll be connected to our practice in a matter of seconds, and we'll walk you through, you know, everything that needs to be done. I mean, Nelson, you get calls sometimes. Somebody got picked up. They're in, you know, they've been put in removal proceedings. Their family is panicking. They don't know where to turn, and you take that call and you walk them through exactly, you know, what the steps are. It's about having, you know, quality legal representation, but also, you know, having them accessible to you. And even in that quote, you know, the client said, whenever he called me, he would call back. Well, I know that sounds stupid, but you would be shocked, actually you'd be disgusted by how many people we speak to that have no idea what's happening in their case, that have never spoken to the attorney on the file before, and don't know what is happening. I mean, that's what happens when you go with an attorney that rolls up to you at the scene of the accident or the emergency room. You may never meet that attorney. You may only speak to a secretary or a receptionist or a paralegal. Nelson, I'm sure you can concur. Actually, you know what? We have top of the hour. We'll get to that in a second. Again, we are Pollack, Isaac DeSico. This is Cruising with the Case Handler. We are attorneys. We are exceptional lawyers. We're great guys too. Hopefully you check us out on social media, the Case Handler or PPID, and have that number saved, 844-774-3529, 844-774-3529. We hope you never need our services, but God forbid you do. You'll be happy you know you have excellent attorneys fighting for you and your family.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Handler, the top personal injury attorney on this station, not to be confused with guys at the top of the hour, not to be confused with guys external of the radio station. He's truly the top. Make sure you call him at 844-774-3529. The same for immigration, which is a different department, 844-PPID law.
It's 10 o'clock.
Glad we got that in. But Nelson, back to that, the phone call. I mean, you know, I see you're always on the phone. I'm always on the phone. And also responsive by email. I mean, what do you say to those people out there that don't know what's happening with their case, that don't even know who their lawyer is? What do you say to those people?
I think it's a problem. I think, you know, our business is a service business. You know, that people are not just clients. I mean, they want to know what's going on with their case. Our job as their attorneys to provide a service and keep them apprised and keep them informed and let them know everything that's happening with their case. So I think if you don't know who your attorney is, if you've seen him once and you haven't spoken to him again, and you're only dealing with a paralegal, I think you got a problem.
Absolutely, definitely. Once again, folks, this is Cruising with a Case Handler. I do have a few more questions, gentlemen.
Hold on, I have a actually I have a question for Adam. I have you know, I've always wondered this question. What, you know, we've spoken about getting into a car accident and what you should do. What happens if you're walking in the street now with this black ice, with snow, and you slip and fall?
Yeah. So my first advice to you would be, if possible, because sometimes you're just in such bad shape that you can't, take photographs. Ice, black ice, snow, those are things that go away, right? Those aren't things that we can go back a week later and take photographs of. So if you're ever in one of those terrible situations in which you've fallen on snow or ice, or a combination of the two, see if you can somehow take a picture and preserve the condition of the street. Those are very difficult cases. They're cases in which the city of New York usually wins, because even though the city has an obligation to keep its streets in safe condition, they do have special protections with respect to prior written notice and things like that, when it comes to the defects on the street and the sidewalk. And you're better off I never want anybody to get hurt, but you're better off falling in front of a private building, because the building is certainly responsible for keeping their sidewalk in good condition and are not bound by that prior written notice statute. But those are difficult cases. I'm not going to lie. You have to have very, very serious injuries and the right formula of length of time after the storm to be able to win that case. So, for example, if you slip and fall in front of a building on the sidewalk during the storm, you're probably not going to recover anything. You have to give them a sufficient amount of time to be able to clean up their property and keep it safe for you.
Well, let me ask you, let me follow up on Nelson's question, which is a little bit different. I sent you a number of someone who actually got rear-ended and decided not to go to the hospital or get into an emergency vehicle immediately.
Yep.
And then in less than 24 hours, they're in royal pain and suffering. Yep. All right. What do you have to say about that when people get into accidents and they decide to listen to the other vehicle and say, okay, let's just not call the cops or not do that. The cops did come on this one, but they didn't go to the hospital.
Yeah, not having the police there is definitely a problem. I rarely would take a case where there is not a police report, just because there's, it shows, maybe it wasn't that serious of an accident, and certainly there's nothing official documenting, the accident and how it exactly happened. But with respect to the emergency room, listen, sometimes people don't feel the pain until the next day. A big muscular guy like Conrad will attest that sometimes you work out and you feel it more the next day. It's not necessarily the day you're working out, but to be able to prove your injury case, obviously you got to be injured, and I got to be able to prove it. So if you are injured in an accident, no matter what kind of accident it is, I do encourage you to get medical attention as soon as possible. It makes the case a little bit easier to prove, and more importantly, if you are injured, obviously you want to have that medical attention to kind of ascertain what exactly is wrong with you.
Okay. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the personal injury department at Pollack, Isaac and DeSico is run by this man, Adam Handler, right here on Facebook here. He once again has settled well over $130 million for his clients. We once again ask you to store his number, God forbid you ever need it. And that number happens to be 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Before we conclude our show, I don't want to do that unless we get all the questions in. Don't want to get beat up. There's a follow-up question is, I want to know if the ban is lifted or not for the F4 type. I'm waiting for the interview and medical call. And that, Conrad?
F4 is a sibling of a United States citizen, and they've been waiting a long time. Cases like that typically take around 15 years. Fact is, though, the ban is still in effect, at least until March 31st of this year. It's in effect unless Biden ends it before then. I don't see that happening based on the way things are going right now. We're only talking about a month and a half away from now. My guess is that he's just going to let it expire. In order for it to continue, he has to take affirmative action to extend it. That's not going to happen. Gotcha. I think that's where we are right now. So I would say that in April, they could start the process again.
All right. Can you, seeing that we're speaking about the F4, here's another question on it, the final question. It says, I'm the derivative on the F4 case. My dad is the principal applicant. I am in the USA now. Can I adjust my status without my dad? he is back in our home country?
Depends. First, his dad is going to have to be approved for the case. So he's got to get his green card. He's got to get his immigrant visa, get approved at the consulate, which again, he's subject to the ban. So he's going to have a little bit of delay there. But let's say April comes, he gets his interview, he gets approved. He has to enter the United States and actually get his green card following approval at the consulate. Then, if his derivative son is still qualified, he's under 21 or qualifies under the CSPA. If he's in legal status throughout the period of time that he's been here, he can adjust his status in the U.S. If he's not, he's going to have to leave. It's going to be a little complicated, though. That is not something you want to do yourself.
Got you. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, what you have been watching, what you have been listening to is brought to you by the law firm PPID. That's Pollack, Isaac, and Nasico, a law firm, of course, that practices personal injury, immigration law, real estate law, family law, criminal law, and a whole lot more. Make sure you reach out to them at 844-PPID-LAW. That's 844-774-3529. Do us a solid and share that phone number and share the link that you're watching with as many people as possible. Call them now, let the phone ring for 10, 15 seconds and store it. 844-PPID-LAW. That's 844-774-3529. Attorneys, thank you so much for being here on Cruising with a Case Handler. Looking forward to and doing it again with you tomorrow morning at 9:30.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.